Okay, so I'm so freaking pumped that Erin is on this call. You don't even know. And what's funny is we're in the Emerald. Was it that was where it started? Did our love affair start in Emerald? The Emerald training, and she did a video and she did a voice recording. She's like, "Oh my God, Christina's in here. She's my girl crush." And I'm like, "Oh, someone's being like really nice to me," like not thinking she actually like, followed me or even knew who I was. So then I felt even like more cool the fact that she was like, "No, I follow you. Like we are the same person." I'm like, people say that all the time about everybody. So then we got to know each other, and she literally is like hashtag spirit animal like to a T. Yeah, so I am so pumped that we are. I spoke on her Moira's. Okay, and the side tilted to the side outside. But I spoke on her Moira's team call last night, and she's gonna come and like I'm so like she's just a breath of fresh air of just like badassery mixed with like no bullshit mixed with like me. She's awesome. And I don't say me in like high regards to me, but like when you get someone who just like gets you and speaks your language, and not many people do that. And she does. She's freaking awesome. So stoked that all of you guys are on here. So I'm going to drop her accolades because I just scared her a little bit. So I said, "Oh my God, dude, you killed it." But I didn't say it. I said in. So she thought that someone got murdered in like the room next to me because then I left her hanging. So that was like literally 3 minutes ago. But
oh my God.
You might have heard her on the National Wake Up Call. You might have saw. I just like scoped out something the other day that you were like a success starter, like something.
Yeah,
like,
on the National Wake Up Call. Yeah.
No, you're like your pictures. You and Jolie's pictures into something in the back office of being something of the month. You did an interview for it because I was like, I didn't know this was a thing. Like your first month, you must have had like really high Success Club numbers or something.
No, that was what we got picked for the National Wake Up Call. We were like starter success stories or something.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's something in there that says like you're 1 month and Jolie's like another month. I'll have to find it. I don't. Yeah, you're extra professional. But literally, like, just feel me out here for a second. In 18 months in the business, okay? So just think about like where you are in your business, and you're like, she is a 5-star, 6-star total elite coach in 18 months. Like, hey, I made a decision. I want to go elite. And so it's going to happen. Like Jess was at NLC. So Jess, when you were like, there was people there that were like, they turned elite in like 18 months. I'm like, that's Erin Hopkins. That was her that they're talking about. Success Club 10 All-Star. I said 18 months in the business. Last year, she ended at 56, like 18 months in, and she ended up 56 in the company. Like, hey, $500 bonus. I'll take that every month. 3 kids under 5. I think a lot of us can relate to that. And just like no excuse, no BS. I want it to happen, so I'm just going to freaking do it. And she was like, well, what should I talk about? I'm like, I don't know, just talk. Just like do your thing, because anything that comes out of her mouth is like straight gold. So I'm so freaking pumped. So I'm just going to hand it over because I'll just talk forever about you. And love you. Thank you. Bye.
I am so excited to be here. And you guys, Christina did not tell you like how actually creepy I was in the beginning. Because I'm like, oh my God, you're my girl crush. And then I did this video about social media for the Emerald training. And I'm like, so I love Life as Christina B. And I'm like, it's a little awkward because she's in this training too. I'm sure she was like, who am I becoming friends with? This is ridiculous. But we really are like the same. I'm about to tell you my story, and I almost don't even need to, because I can be like, well, you've heard Christina's story. That's my story. Because it really is. So I have a history and background in health and fitness. I was a personal trainer, a yoga instructor, spin instructor before this. And prior to that, I had like a 50-pound weight loss journey of my own. I have a history of disordered eating. I like had a Jerry Maguire moment and like quit my corporate marketing job to follow my passion and be a personal trainer. I'm sure my husband was like, what the fuck is happening? You're quitting your salaried position to make $25 an hour at the gym, wiping people's sweat. But I did, and I loved it. And I found my passion for helping people, and I became kind of this like weight loss transformation expert because I had such a massive weight loss transformation myself. So that was really cool. And I was like training people at any time of the day, like 5 a.m., 10 p.m. Like, I'm a very like driven person, and I don't mind putting in the hard work. And so that was awesome. And I was like burning out. And then my husband and I got spontaneously pregnant with twins. And that just kind of changed everything. I had a super high risk pregnancy. I was on bed rest. I couldn't even like hand clients a weight, I had just someone who always like knew I wanted to be a mom and like dreamed of staying home with my kids. And I have these identical twin girls who, you know, they're so freaking cute, and I'm like so in love with them, obviously. But I also struggled really hardcore with postpartum anxiety. Like, couldn't leave the house, felt trapped. Anyone who would come take care of them, I thought would like ruin my life and ruin my schedule and ruin everything that's going on. And I literally like just became a shell of myself. I lost my identity completely. And I couldn't even figure out how to go work because, you know, if that's the answer, like you need to get back to what you love doing, then what? Like, I'm paying the babysitter more than I make at the gym. Like, that's insane. Or I'm taking my kids to the gym childcare where hand, foot, and mouth lives. And I already have anxiety. And like, so I'm like, I can't take them to the childcare. They're going to get sick. And so anyway, I just like sat here, like attached to the pump for 8 hours a day, trying to breastfeed my preemie twins, and was literally lost. Like, my husband lost his wife. Like, I was such a disastrous mess. Again, at one point I did try to go work at like a high intensity interval training studio, which is really fun. And I would go work for 1 hour and the babysitter would make more than me. And so my husband at one point was like, hey, that's charity work. Like, that's not an actual business plan. We can't like pay for you to go work. That's ridiculous. So anyway, at some point in that craziness, we had another baby. So I had 3 babies under 3. And I actually had 3 under 3 when I started this business. And another girl, and she was like kind of turning 1, like getting close to turning 1. And I always said in my head, like, I will go figure something else out and get back to me when she turns 1. And so that was kind of looming. And I was like, I guess I'm going to have to go back to the gym. I'm going to have to figure out childcare, but like, whatever, it's time for like me to be me again. And, I was watching a friend, like she was just a kind of a distant acquaintance, do this Beachbody thing. And I was a hater. I thought that Beachbody coaches knew nothing and that they, you know, I thought it was a cheesy, disgusting thing. But then I watched this acquaintance do it differently. She wasn't being like T25. Like, she was just sharing her story. And the way she was doing it seemed really cool, like almost like a blogger would. Like, fitness bloggers are cool. So why are Beachbody coaches cheesy and terrible? Like, it's kind of the same thing, really. Except Beachbody coaches actually have better services that they provide. Anyway, so I watched her do it, and she put up an income post one day. And I actually hate this part about my story because I hate that it's like came down to money at the end, but it did. She put up an income post, and I saw that she made like, I remember the number. It was $6,600 in month 12. And I remember sitting my husband down for dinner, and I thought he was going to be like, you are never going to be one of those MLMers. No. Like, I sat him down. I'm like, so I've been considering like this Beachbody coach thing. I've been watching my coach or this girl, and he had been following her too. Did you see that thing that she made $6,000 in 1 month? And I'm about to like leave my kids, and I don't know, like, I feel like maybe I can like help people and not leave my kids. And he's like, you should try it. I mean, I think you owe it to yourself. You owe it to this family. Like, let's try it. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought you were going to like shoot me down. And then I told some of my best girlfriends, and I thought they were going to be like, no, don't be one of those Beachbody people. And they were like, yeah, I kind of can't believe you're not already doing that. I'm like, oh shit, I think I can do this. Anyway, so I signed up. I still had baby weight to lose. So I lost 18 pounds in 2 rounds of 21-day fix extreme. I was like sold. I love this. This is my jam. And I have been kind of balls to the wall ever since. That's kind of the way my personality works. I'm kind of an all or nothing person. And I made a decision about this, and it did start in the 1 hour nap time that I had. And it has kind of turned into more than that as I'm like trying to build a freaking empire. So that is my story. And I have like 3 things. Like, Christina kind of just like let me talk about whatever I want to talk about. So I'm kind of talking to you about like stuff that I want my team to hear. But it's really a lot easier to talk to other people's teams about the things you want your team to hear than to talk to your own team about it. And I know that some of you who are leaders totally get that. But the one thing I want to talk about, like the main point, is how I became a successful Beachbody coach. And I did it wrong in the beginning. So let's talk about this time, or January last year. So January last year, I went on a diamond retreat. Corporate came. We had all this elite training. I figured out what it meant to be elite. And I made a decision right then and there that I was going to be an elite coach. And it doesn't, I'm talking about my story, but like, you don't have to want to be an elite coach. Maybe you want to be an emerald coach. Maybe you want to be a diamond coach. So like, change this story as it needs to be. You don't have to want this the way that I want this. And you don't have to want to work as hard as I want to work, but you do have to figure out what you do want. Right? You have to make a plan and have a vision. I'm so not a vision-y person, but on that diamond retreat, I wrote my vision and I read it every day last year. And part of that was that I'm an elite freaking baller coach. I read it every day. And I said, in January, I was a 1-star diamond coach. And I said that I'm going to be 5-star by Summit. Duh. And we're like, who are those 5 diamonds? And I could even tell you this person, my husband, my second CBC, easy peasy, 5-star by Summit. So I said it out loud and it was like my non-negotiable 5-star by Summit. Then I go to Summit as a 1-star diamond coach. And I'm like, well, fuck. I said I was going to be 5-star by Summit and it didn't happen. Like, I know that I still have this time to get the 5-star and go elite, but like, it didn't happen because I literally just thought if I worked hard and did the things that all these things would happen and that these girls that I think should be diamond coaches will just be diamond coaches. And that's just not how it works. And the bottom line of that is that I thought that it was just going to fall into place and happen organically. And that's actually the term that I hear more than anything from coaches. Like, yeah, I just want this to happen organically. And that's a really beautiful thought. But this business, this is a business. You're running a business. This shit doesn't happen organically. Yes, the way I run my challenge groups, organic. The way I communicate with my challengers, the way that I post on social media, organic. Mostly organic. I did like fake an ab workout today for a social media post. Don't tell. But there's so many organic things about this business. We are all here because we have the heart. You are not a Beachbody coach unless you have heart. So I feel like people think it's really ugly when I say that, like, stop saying this is going to happen organically, because it would be really beautiful if it did. But the truth of the matter is you're running a business. This shit doesn't happen organically. You have to decide what you want. And you have to reverse engineer that. And what that means and what that takes is that you have to learn about this business. And you have to figure out, okay, I want to be an emerald coach. What is an emerald coach? What happens when I get to be an emerald coach? Oh, I get free leads. Oh, I get free money from Beachbody. Okay, well, I need to do this. You reverse engineer. Okay, I want to be a diamond coach. If you want to be a diamond coach, your roadmap should be in your diamond roadmap, and how to get there should be in your face every day. It should be filled out with names of people that you are expecting to join your team, your dream team. Like, you should be crossing people out and adding people daily. It doesn't just happen. You don't just like, oopsies, I went diamond. Like, wouldn't that be awesome? Then the 12 shirts that Christina bought to hand out would all be fucking gone. Of course she thought she was going to have 12 diamonds. We all do. But it just takes more than that. I'm very incentivized by trips. Like, my husband travels a lot. And so if I can have like work travel, it makes me resent his travel less. But we have a team. My team does a team leader retreat. And I was like not even close to team leader. And I had to figure out what that meant, how to get 5,000 volume on my weak leg, which is hard when you're a brand new coach. I had to figure out how to get 4 working coaches. It made me figure out how this entire business works. And it made me strategize. And it turned me into a CEO, because I'm all of a sudden in charge of my business. My upline's not in charge of my business. I'm not expecting her to figure this out for me. I am in charge of it all. And in addition to that, I'm not expecting my downline coaches to figure it out for me. When I showed up at Summit as a 1-star diamond coach instead of a 5-star diamond coach, that was nobody's fault except my own. It wasn't the people who I thought were going to go diamonds. I should have found new people when it wasn't happening. You should always find new people, but like, I can't be like, oh, well, shit, it didn't happen because so-and-so didn't pull her weight. It is not about her. It is about me and how I'm running this business. And all of that to say that, like, you've got to figure out what it is. Maybe you want to be, this is Team Cups ends tomorrow. We have this awesome discounted, amazing challenge pack. The discount ends tomorrow. So like, if you're not in Success Club right now, and if that's something that you want, in my opinion, to be a Beachbody coach, the bare minimum is to help three new people a month. So if you're not in Success Club right now, the only reason you're not in Success Club is because you haven't talked to enough people. It's not because the people who you sent links to didn't do their links. Oh my God, if you could, I call it purgatory, when you send the links and they just fucking sit there. You should see what my purgatory looks like this month. Like, I am not, I'm at SC20. That is really, really low for me. And I could sit there all day long and complain about the people who didn't pull the trigger. But the truth of the matter is, if I wanted it to be at a higher Success Club number, I didn't talk to enough people. It's my fault. Because this shit doesn't happen organically. You've got to put in the work. And, as a rule of thumb, if let's say you want to hit Success Club 10 and get the free leads, I have to talk to 300 people to hit Success Club 10. That's the only way it can be guaranteed. So if I'm going to say Success Club 10 is my non-negotiable, which it is, there's a minimum of 300 people that I have to invite every single month. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen organically. Like, I have to do the work. It's not like, and it's funny because I look at somebody like Christina who has like a bazillion followers, and I don't. That's where my focus is right now. I'm working on building my social media and my cold market. But you look at somebody like her and you're like, she must not have to invite. Like, she's got, I don't know, 20,000 followers on Instagram. How many people are watching her stories every day? How many people, when she says swipe up, are just like swiping up, right? And it's honestly kind of refreshing to learn that, like, she has to invite too. Like, no one's just like laying in bed eating bonbons, making good money and being successful Beachbody coaches. They are putting in the work. And, it's kind of like, when skinny people, like really skinny people who you think never have to worry about their weight, you find out they're like worried about their weight or something. You're like, oh, thank goodness it's not just me. But yes, make a plan, figure out what that plan is, and reverse engineer how to get that, and decide that it's a non-negotiable and that you're going to do it, and stop just expecting it to fall into place. So that's tip number 1. I have 3 tips. Let me see if I'm not good at looking at questions. Okay. The visuals every day. Yep. Numbers game. Is it 300 people that you're actually talking to, or 300 people you're just messaging? It's 300 conversations. A lot of that for me is follow-ups. So my follow-up number is in that. Yeah. And we'll talk more about inviting in my next thing, which is just to be bold. And I know that sounds like, duh. Like, first of all, what team call have you ever been on where a coach came in here and said something that you've never heard before? We all say the same things. But this is the thing that I've been working the most with my team. And the thing that I have to pep talk myself up the most. So I hate inviting. Like, I really hate inviting. But what I love is helping people, and I love having kick-ass challenge groups, and I love making them fall in love with this and want to do this with me. Like, that feeling is better than any feeling in the world. I love this business, and I love helping people on their health and fitness journeys. And so guess what? It's totally fine if I don't like to invite. I'm never going to find a job where I like everything about it. So the 5% thing that I hate, I'm going to just like head down, blinders on, invite, so that I can do that other thing which is help change people's lives, that I'm completely and totally in love with. So when I sit down to invite, the first thing that I do is remind myself that I am Erin motherfucking Hopkins, and that people want to do this with me, and that I'm fun, and that I know what I'm talking about. And I love this program so much, and I am so passionate about what it does and what it brings to people's lives and their marriages and everything. The butterfly effect that this program has on people, I believe in it so passionately that there is no one out there that can say no to me. They can't. And then I literally say that to myself. I know that sounds like so cheesy and ridiculous, but I feel that way, and I have to remind myself, because we get the dumbest excuses you've ever heard, right? Like the other day, someone told me that they can't do this program because their child's not sleeping through the night. I'm like, oh, well, that's fucking cool, because my 4-year-old just slept with me last night. So do you want to just like not take care of yourself for 4 years? Like, that shit is not going away. We get, I'm breastfeeding, I can't afford it, I love Orange Theory. We get everything. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm assuming that most of you are here because you've had some kind of weight loss, not necessarily weight loss, fitness journey. You've had some kind of transformation, whether it's weight loss or, whatever, life-changing scenario with this program. And you know that sometimes you're just not ready. I have had like a roller coaster ride of weight loss and gain my entire life. And there have been so many times in my life where like, I'm just not ready. So our job is to be there for the people when they are ready, so that they know that moment when they're ready, that we are here for them. And in addition to that, so when people say no to you and people are like, oh, this job is so hard, everyone says no, that's not about you. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to themselves. They're not ready. We take this so personally. I have had so many coaches quit because they can't handle all the no's, when really the no's have nothing to do with them. They have to do with that individual person and where they are in their own personal journey. And we have no idea what's going on in that person's life behind closed doors. So our job is to be there and continue to invite and to not give up on them. That is my job. So I don't let the no's F with me, because I'm going to be there when that person comes back around. There was something else I wanted to say with that. Oh, and the other thing, so be there when they're ready. The other thing we have to do is call them on their shit. Like when I am not ready and overweight and like, in the wine and pizza every night, I need somebody to call me out. Like, I can be like, oh, 80-day, how many people, I don't know if y'all are in that 80-day test group. 80-day doesn't work. Oh, really? There's something that you're doing that's not working. Like, it's not 80-day that's not working. And people need to be called out for that. Like, oh, your program doesn't work. Really? Where are your containers? Did you count them today? What's going on? Like, we've got to call people on their shit. And so that means that we have to be really bold and overcome objections all the time. Like, I'm not going to let, and maybe I did in the first couple months. I think it took me like maybe 3 months to get behind this. People would be like, oh, I love working out of the gym with my trainer. Like, great. I'm so glad you love working out at the gym with your trainer. What kind of nutrition program does she have you on? And how often is she checking in with you on the days that you're not training with her? Like, I know the answer because I was a trainer. They're not doing anything else. They're meeting with them for 30 minutes twice a week, and then they're sending them on their way. I don't have the money. I can't afford that. Oh my gosh, I totally thought this was super expensive and was totally not in a financial situation to do this program when I signed up. But the truth of the matter is, I save money every single month because I eat out less, I drink less wine, I use my groceries more efficiently, I'm meal prepping and doing all that. I actually save so much money on this program. And by the way, if you invite a friend or a family to do this with you, I'll give you a $50 bonus referral or a referral bonus. Like, instead of just being like, oh, okay, let me know when you get paid next time. Like, you've got to combat that every single time. There is literally not an objection that somebody could throw in my face except for maybe, Erin, I don't want anything to do with you and I hate Beachbody. That would probably be the only thing that I'd be like, cool, bye. Other than that, any single thing somebody comes at me with, I am going to tell you why this program is going to change your life anyway. And I am going to work through that objection. I am never going to let somebody think that they're not ready or that they're not good enough. Like that's actually the number one thing I get. I'm just not ready for this right now. I'm like, oh, really? No one is. This doesn't have to look perfect. Let's take this in baby steps. You can just start working out 1 day a week. That's better than nothing. You know, we have to help people the best we can and meet them where they are. And so we have to be bold. And that may seem scary and it may seem like you're being pushy, but what you're really doing is changing people's lives. That's it. I'm making sure I'm not missing any comments. Okay, number 3, just be a CEO. Like, I am so embarrassed to say that any other job before this, besides the personal training, but any other like salaried or hourly position, I would do the bare minimum. I was a very mediocre employee because why would I do any more than I had to do? Like I would do a good job and then I would like go home and, you know, that's it. You guys, we have the ability to build empires. My coach has only been doing this for 2.5 years and she made $45,000 last month. Like last month she made $45,000. Like that is possible. And we can all do it. And there's no reason that we can't all build empires. And I'm not saying that you have to want to do that, but I just feel like for the first time ever, the more that I work, I benefit from that. The more recognition I get, the more money I get, the more trips I get. Like this company is amazing. And they've given us every single thing that you can have. And then in addition to that, every successful coach in this network is sharing all their secrets. If you're like, I wonder how Melanie Mitro does, I don't know, whatever, something. All you have to do is get on YouTube and she has made a video telling you how she does anything. Christina said that the person who trained, she broke into Anita Myron's training because it's open. Her training, her coach training that she's probably slaved away and spent 1 million hours of her time is open. If you go on the Beachbody Champions page, if you're like, I really wonder about this Instagram story thing, how do I do that? Go on Beachbody Champions, go in the search bar, type Instagram story. All the best people in the entire network are there teaching you all of the things. So if you're not taking this opportunity and learning how to run this business, I mean, you're crazy. And then in addition to that, you know, when I started coaching, I didn't know that I wanted to start a team. I actually just thought I was like going to bring on challengers and do challenge groups and never be a diamond coach, like just be like a volume producer. And what happened was I brought one of my friends on. She was like a trainer friend and she had just like lost herself a little bit and she was drinking too much and she just needed me to like help her rein it in after she calls it the summer of rosé and cheese. And she got amazing results. And then she's like, how much money are you making here? And I had made, you know, it was month 2, I had made $500 in a week, which was really good. I had sold a ton of challenge packs because I was only making commission at the time. And she was like, wow, that's a lot more than I make teaching yoga. And she's like, I think I want to do this with you. Like, let's be business partners and let's do this thing. And she signed up. And she and I have been business partners ever since. But I will tell you that day where I brought in somebody to run this business with me. So if you have any working coaches, or maybe you're brand new and your working coach is like just around the corner or currently in your challenge group, once you bring on that working coach, you have no excuse not to learn how to do this stuff. You know, I didn't know what a weak leg and a strong leg. I didn't know anything when I brought this girl onto my team. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I have a team and I am her upline coach and I am her leader. And first things first, I have to act like a leader. And a lot of that was us figuring it out together. But it just becomes very apparent to me. I have a lot of diamond not a lot. I wish I had more diamond coaches, but I work with a lot of diamond coaches on my upline team that truly don't know how this business works. And then they don't like get it when they're not moving their business forward. And it's because they're not acting like a CEO. So I think a lot of people just need like a real gut check about that. Like, if you want to move your business forward, do you understand how this business works? Can you explain a team cycle bonus to a new Emerald coach? Can you, do you know all the things? And if not, go get some training because it's all out there. Beachbody has given us everything. And, it's not just up to your upline coach to teach you how to do that stuff. Like, it is your responsibility. Yeah, and then the last thing I have written down, I've actually already said, is that this is the coolest opportunity ever. Like, look at these awesome women in these squares on this screen that you get to work with. It is such a sisterhood. And in addition to that, like, that part's cool. You know what's even cooler? The people in your challenge groups who you have an intimate relationship with, where you have the opportunity to change their lives every single day. We get to make money. A lot of us get to stay home with our kids, or maybe it's not about staying home with your kids, but not punching a clock, or whatever your story is and whatever your why is. This opportunity gives us everything we could ever dream of, So if you don't like one part of it, if you don't like to learn about team cycle bonuses, that is cool. If you're like me and you hate to invite, that's fine. If you're scared to post on social media, which I have also have experience with that, that's cool. You can walk through that fear, because walking through that fear or getting through that little thing that you hate about your job, it's going to be massive in not just your life, but everyone else's lives. I can honestly tell you that if my coach didn't like do this thing, and then me do this thing, like my marriage was a mess. I may be in like a mental institution. Like, I seriously don't know where my life would be if she hadn't made that decision. And how many other lives has that affected? How many people, because I got over the fact that I hate inviting, how many lives have I changed? I work mostly with postpartum women. They're very fragile and they're going through a lot. And I get to have such a massive impact on that. So me getting over myself and doing the work and like head down, doing the things that I don't want to do, and just sitting with the fact that it's uncomfortable. Getting on this call is uncomfortable. Like, it's all uncomfortable and it's scary, but what we have the ability to do is, it just far outweighs all of that. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh my God. I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. One, like, parallel stories, but okay. If you guys have any questions, and I will call your asses out if you don't, you know that already. And here's the other thing, my team knows this. Do not drop, oh my God, I so needed to hear this, unless you have intention to like go ham and apply everything that she just said. Because you didn't need to hear this. This is stuff you already know. And she said it in a way that fired you up. Now, what are you going to do with that energy? Right? Okay. So here's a couple things that I'm going to drop real quick. The 300 no's, or the 300, going conversations. I love that. And how you said it with like social media, because I feel like in this, and where everybody is right now is everybody's all about the social media, and that's what our business is. But they're so into, I need to get more followers. How do I find more people? Should I run ads? Should I boost this post? How do I gain my traction? And it has numbers have nothing to do with it. The numbers you're inviting, yeah, but your actual platform means jack. And I've said that, like, if I don't have conversations going, there's nothing going. And we've kind of done a thing. I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but like, Sarah and Jess are both star diamonds, and both of them, like, they don't have a comma in their Instagram. You guys might now, but they hit 1 star and above and didn't have 1,000 followers. You don't need thousands of followers. You need 12 freaking people to hit diamond. Like, that's what it comes down to. Sit around your table at Christmas, and there's your 12 people that I'm sure desperately need your help. So I love that.
I have 1,700 followers, and I've been like working on that. Like, I do not have an Instagram follower.
Right there. That's it right there. So I love that I love that, because that was one thing when I had talked to corporate, they're like, you know, asked me stuff, and I go, the one thing I think you guys need to stop is saying 3 to 5 people a day. You're not, we're out of that market that you can invite 3 to 5. We're not new enough to invite 3 to 5 people a day. So I love that. The most profound, like, and I've actually never heard another coach say this, is that no's have nothing to do with us. That like the no's mean absolutely nothing. That I think so many coaches get so frustrated at, I just, all I keep hearing is no. And they feel like that's just a cutting down, slicing their business, when all that's doing is weeding people and giving you a whole slew of people to follow up with. Like, that's building your business. That's not breaking down your business. So love that. And that was a whole like mental shift for me too. And I think for a lot of this team, like, who cares if people say no? Those are people you get in your back pocket. Like, those are potentials. And then the whole taking ownership of your business and understanding it and learning it. Because Erin knows, I don't even know how to get to elite. Like, she's like, how do you not know? I'm like, I just like kind of know what I got to do. And like, you just tell me what else I need to do. I don't
if you had seen my road to elite, it was like tally marks and a sheet and like meetings with corporate every week to make sure I was doing it.
Yeah, I still, I mean, you know, I'll like message her. I'm like, wait, why do you do that? She's like, PSPV. I'm like, what is PSPV? I'm like, I have no idea. So understanding the business, understanding why everyone should be an Emerald Plus. Like, bare minimum, if you are a coach, you have to be an Emerald. Like, it's silly to me to not be an Emerald. And who just messaged me the other day and was like, I just got my first cycle bonus. And I'm like, yeah, that, like, I remember getting my first $14 cycle bonus and like being like, I just got free money. Like, that was free. Like, that's cool. So yeah, bare minimum. But okay, if anyone has questions, because holy crap.
Back to the nose thing, like that was a shift for me, because I am, and I say this all the time, I am like so sensitive and I care so much about what people think. And I have had coaches quit because of this. I've had 2 diamond coaches quit because of this, because they couldn't deal with the nose. And I get it. Like, I'll feel the same way about coach cancellations. Like, I got like 6 cancellations today. I'm like, what is going on? And then I sat there and thought about it. I'm like, this is not a reflection on me. I am an awesome coach. I have taken care of these people. I have been there for them through everything. And if something is going on with their life where they cannot continue right now, it is not about me. I did everything right. So I have to let it go, because it is easy to be like, oh my God, I suck, like, and get into that. You just have to remember, if you're doing your job and killing it in the challenge group, because that should be your number one job, then it's not your fault if people say no or fall off or whatever. Like, it just is what it is.
Leanne, I know you're in that diamond group, and we have a bubble sheet here. I would Google search what an emerald chart looks like, a bubble chart. And yeah, it's 12 active coaches, but you need to, I'm not going to break it down because it's like you filled out the chart before. So hashtag Google that shit. Got
GTS. GTS.
Anyone
but really, the diamond roadmap is like the most, if you are shooting for diamond, which I mean, I kind of feel like if you want to be a Beachbody coach, you should be at least shooting for diamond. The diamond roadmap should be in your face all day, every day, because it really truly, you got to know how to get there so that you can make it happen. I've had so many, that's how I did it. I ended up popping 4 diamonds in like a month.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about what you did in the last quarter of last year? Because that was pretty freaking impressive when you really want something.
I had done a really, really terrible job of helping people figure out what diamond was. And we did a diamond training. It was cool. Let's call it a diamond push, because it wasn't really a training. It was a little bit more of a hardcore, like, who wants to get diamond by the end of the year? Let's do this. And it was these action items, because I find that what happens is people are on calls and trainings. Like, I love trainings. I love hearing from coaches, but like, guess what? If you sit there and watch trainings and, oh my gosh, I have a coach that I love dearly, and she's like, oh my God, I was in the Carl group today, and I was in the Diamond group today, and I was in the Emerald group today. I'm like, why so many groups? Like, and all she does is just listen to coaches. She like loves Raina Odell, and she like YouTube's Raina, and then she doesn't do shit. Like, what is the point in all the trainings if you're not like, I would rather you, and actually Christina said this on the team call she was on last night, the team is in 15-star qual, and she's like, if you guys need to get off this call to solidify your diamonds, it's cool. Like, don't be on here if you're not in Success Club. Don't be on here if you're, because what you can't spend your time. We're going to be here an hour. Like, how many invites could you have gotten out in an hour? I'm not saying that I really think team calls are important. I think it's important for you guys to look at each other's faces. Like, nothing to do with me. I just think that this is how the community is built. And the culture is built, and you're trying to draw people into this culture. Getting sidetracked. But anyway, I think that the deal was how I got those people to Diamond at the end was the action items. I sat down with them and we made a strategy, and some of them were like, oh, I didn't know I could make my mom an emerald. And I'm like, let's make your mom an emerald. So some of it was just like strategy things that they didn't know, and we worked towards it, and we all pushed together because, I'm a 5-star diamond, but once you're a 5-star, you have to hold it for 6 weeks to get your bonus. And I'm in this like bonus situation where everyone has to hold for the same 6 weeks for me to make a significant bonus in my life. And one of the girls was about to drop this week, and I'm like, hey, I'm in qualification. Can you help me? And you know what she said to me? She said, Erin, this is my job. This is my job to hold my diamond during this qualification. Cause I was feeling like a little selfish. Like, I can't ask her to like work harder for me. Like, that makes me feel really uncomfortable. And she said, I am on this team and I care about this team. And it is important that we hold this qualification. I mean, the fact that somebody's going to see this as such a team player. And I know that one day, when she has many diamonds underneath her and she's an elite coach, people are going to look at her that way because that's how she's going to lead. Like, you are your own CEO, but like, if you want to be a part of this team culture and you want to be a part of this, I mean, I've been like obsessed with Life as Christina B for like a year. I didn't even know her name for a while. I just knew Christina B. But if you want to be a part of that culture, I just think that that's really important, how you handle that. And then that is going to be a direct reflection on how the people that you bring in handle it. Because they're going to see, this girl, Sarah, who's busting her butt to get her diamond back for me this week, her coaches are going to see that and they're going to do that for her. And so the culture that she's creating beyond me, that's the even cooler part. It really is truly like an awesome team and an awesome sisterhood. And that kind of shift. So that's what happened at the end of the year. We all decided that we wanted to make it happen. And there was a diamond retreat at stake and everybody did the thing. And it was because there were actionable items. Like, hey, every single day, I want to see how many people you invited and I want to see how your diamond roadmap changed. That kind of stuff matters when somebody's holding you accountable. It's like the business accountability group instead of a health and fitness accountability group. If your people aren't going to work out, you're going to say, what the hell is going on? Why didn't you get your workout in? Same thing with going diamond. Like, where are your invites? Where are your social media posts? Don't say you want to do something and you want to be there, but you're not willing to put in the work. Whoa, tangent.
They're so used to this. They're like, okay, Christina. Like, no, that was really powerful to me. I mean, her and I have talked about this with teams and how, like, if you guys were on the call that Melanie did for the thing and a national wake up call, and she said how her whole team, when she was hitting number 2 instead of number 1, the whole team was like, what do we have to do to get the dream team back to number 1? And like, I know that, like, was it Moira or Ruth who said they wanted to take down
Ruth?
That's mean. That is ruthless because you don't take down Melanie. Melanie has that. You do not take the crown from Melanie. Like, I'd be cool with number 2. I don't want number 1. I am not going to be the one that would ever take down. I would be like, team, slow it down. We're not taking down Melanie. But I thought that was really cool. And our team has a really cool vibe where we are all friends, and we do have a leadership retreat in this push group that she's mentioned. Erin and I have talked about it, and our team's going to actually have one coming up. So I've loved hearing from you. And I think everyone's probably like head exploding. Like, I got a few GIFs thrown at me with like head exploding. Like, oh my God, what's happening right now? Like, Okay. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. If you guys have questions, you can drop them to me and I can shoot them over to her and get any more feedback. But this was like so impactful, so amazing. I think all of us would agree. I love you to pieces, girlfriend.
You do. Let's chat later this week. When do you get back from Florida?
Tomorrow.
Oh.
So, but yes, thank you. I'll probably text you after this. Thank you. And thanks everybody. I love seeing everybody on here, and Jess is going to be doing a call or a live or something later this week to talk all things NLC. So, I'll keep you guys updated on that, but hope you guys have a great night. Go invite your balls off because you got, I don't know, like 12 hours to lock in.
Oh, wait, I need a picture. Hold on.
Okay.
Everybody smile. Okay.
I already called everybody out. Bye.